So here we go. We have Serengeti for the next one. Arabia-like map, I would say. It's pretty open. It's just even tougher to wall than Arabia because of the way the wood lines are positioned. Lots of gaps between the trees. Certainly possible, just a bit more of a challenge to get it done. Start with only one elephant, not two, but in the exchange you have more huntables to be taken. You have the berries and sheep as well, so actually there's more food overall to be taken than on Arabia. So let's see if you had any switch ups here. Looks like it's the same team for Parabellum here, and for Ragnarok we had Waffles switched out by Sretar. It was the other way around though. This is the game one, but we're casting it as the second one. So anyway, Waffles taking Sretar's spot for this one. Hey Fingolfin, thanks for stopping by. I'm doing alright, just getting a little cast in before a short stream in before I'm going to a New Year's party later. So just a nice pastime to have, to see some good games from the League of Empires. So we see we have Vietnamese for Waffles here for his team. They know, in that case, they know the locations of the opponents, so they know exactly what they're up against here. Let's talk a bit again. We have aristocrats playing the pocket position again, this time as Lithuanians. So there's going to be a fight for relics here, or should be anyway, because Lithuanians get +1 attack for their knights line units. Per relic they collect up until 4 relics. So that's something the other team should keep in mind as well. Don't allow the Lithuanians to get to that full relics bonus. On the left hand side we have Waffles with a Vietnamese here, and basically an anti-archer civ. Still likely to go some kind of infantry opening, I'd say, especially since the berries and hunt are forward here. You could look at some nice and well early damage with a drush or men-at-arms opening here from the Vietnamese. They also have 20% more hit points on the archer range units, so skirms and archers are simply more tanky for the Vietnamese. And for the right hand side, for Ragnarok, we have Flying Mouse playing as the Ethiopians here. Another great archery civ, archer civ of course, faster firing archers, getting +100 food and gold upon reaching each next age as well, which makes transitions a bit smoother through the ages, or an men-at-arms opening all that more viable as well, given that you basically get the men-at-arms upgrade for free with Ethiopians when you go to the next stage. So pretty common civ picks here, archer civs on the flanks, cavalry in the middle. On the right hand side for Parabellum we have White Fang with the Mongols. Mongols, in my opinion, the go-to pick for Serengeti. Just look at all this hunt here. Mongols gather hunt 40% faster, so you want to exploit that in any way possible when you're playing as the Mongols. This effectively means that Mongols could comfortably go for a very early full-age uptime. You could justify even 16 population, at least in 1v1s. But for a team game, that's a bit too all-in, but you could still justify, for example, 18 or 19 pop scouts with Mongols, or an earlier uptime for a straight archers build, or whatever you want to do. I've done, for example, the 20 pop men-at-arms into archers with Mongols without no trouble, because that extra food is just so smooth and easy to get going. For Pocket we have Superman playing Pocket again as Franks this time around. So he's playing the Pocket Civ that the other team were using for Arabia. Frank's one of the strongest cavalry civs in the game. Here we see Mongols going up first of all here with actually 20 population here. But that's only going to make the eco stronger moving into the village, so absolutely a good call. Yeah, so expect scouts and knights from Superman here. Franks also have cheaper castles for map control and to produce destroying axemen against enemy infantry units. And finally on the left hand side, Splinket OG as the Magyars. Another good flank civ for Splinket OG here is the Magyars. You have the option to go scouts for mobility, because you get forging the melee attack upgrade instantly in the village. But you'll also be able to go men-at-arms into archers, as your men-at-arms also will have forging instantly, so you have a very strong men-at-arms opening with Magyars. You also get fully upgraded archery range units from Magyars, because they are a cav archer. They usually get... Cav archers usually get Razor and everything, so yeah, we'll see what's coming to mind here. I mean, it makes sense to go scouts on Serengeti anyway, because you could just play the mobility to its full potential when it's so hard to wall as it is, but it's more meta to go scouts on the flank side, so we'll see what the game brings here. It is indeed the scouts on the right side flank for White Fang here, whereas the Ethiopians isn't up yet, but will likely go for an infantry opening here. Yeah, Flying Mouse going for the 23 pop. Men-at-arms here, it seems. And Aristocrats, of course, going for the scouts from the pocket. Same for Zupaman with the Franks. And even Magyars is going to be completely and utter full scouts for Parabellum here. That's going to be an interesting development to follow. If they coordinate it nicely, they should be able to take good engagements against village archers, even if they have fletching. Military numbers increasing here. Zupaman now with 5 military total. There are some defensive spears here, strategically placed along the core resources, and going to gather up with White Fang scouts on the right hand side here. Oh, here come the snowman. Frosty is on the move, accompanied even with the spearman here. Probably expecting the scouts from the Mongols player, having scouted that what was happening, but running into double scouts like this is still going to be a pickle, even for the men-at-arms and spears to handle. A bit of a cluster here, but it is a fight that Superman and White Fang will comfortably win, and the men-at-arms of the Flying Woes, the Ethiopians player, will never reach the enemy side. On the other side we have scouts from the Magyars player here, Splinket OG. Nice little pen for the berries here of waffles, keeping the villagers contained here. That's space for one farm later as well. I like the outline here. Range is going up, double ranges in fact for the Vietnamese, and some intelligent walling here to force the aggression to have to move past the TC here. Oh, there's an opening, but the spears are in place, so waffles should be fine for now. On the northeast side we have Zupaman's scouts and White Fang's almost only remaining scout here. Just being plain annoying here. I got 3 scouts and got 2 others low, so the fight wasn't... No, it wasn't a bad fight at all, but you just lose the ability to hit White Fang's home base, was my idea about it. Certainly keeping the other numbers low as well. I don't want to become famous, so I'll delete that comment. Superman now going for the left side flank here, wants to try and obstruct waffles on this side here with the Vietnamese. Aristocrats with the scouts as well, finding an opening here, running straight past the spearmen, and Waller boys. Ah. It's not complete walls though, so I'll let this one pass. triple scouts is stressful to see. Yeah, but it can be very efficient on open maps like this, like Land Madness or Serengeti, where you have a hard time walling. It could be really powerful if you can get the production going. But if you're able to fend it off, though, you're going to benefit from having a quicker Castle Age being the one defending against the full scouts madness. White Fang seems to have a stellar opening here though, with 38 villagers now, didn't get hit by the men-at-arms from the Ethiopians and is getting essentially almost a free boom on the flank here. Superman seems to be doing good as well. His team are the aggressors after all, and now chasing Aristocats back home to his home base here. 3 vs 2, and it's also Frank Scouts versus Lithuanians, so there should be more HP overall for the Frank Scouts here. So we had the archer switch for White Fang here, now going for Flying Wow's side. Defense upgrade for White Fang though, that's huge in these matches like this when it's essentially outnumbered, but has more upgrades, could still take decent engagement. Then Flying Wow's fences off though, brings in some spears and skirms to complement everything as well. And looking at the up times now, Superman and Aristocrats both going to the cast stage, as well as Splinkett OG on the left side here, with the double rangers going to make the archers switch as well, adding some skirms. So scouts into archers for the flanks seems to work out nicely for Parabellum for now. 13 against 12 army here now, but mind you, there are some skirmishers in the mix as well, and still no armor for Flying Wows, as opposed to the Mongols player who has both upgrades here. So we're going to have another run in here, maybe 3 full HP scouts for Aristocrats. That should be a fight that he could win with some micro here, even though the Franks have more collected HP. Let's see. Seems pretty even, but in the end it's yeah, Aristocrats taking that fight with good numbers, even one scout still full HP over here. Now on the right hand side we have Flying Mouse on the forward with a group of 13 military here. That's going to force a reaction of White Fang, who needs to pull back home and probably isn't too stressed out about the skirms here, but there are 2 skirmishers in the mix. They can be a bit hard to target and has some hidden extra damage output than against archers only here for White Fang. Still no defense on the Ethiopians archers though, so that should still shift the fight in the favor of White Fang here. Let's see. Not much micro to spot here. A little bit, but more of a stand ground battle, and White Fang comes out alive there, eliminating a lot of Flying Mouse's numbers. Meanwhile, we have Waffles with a convincing amount of archers units now, 29 archers, still fuel age though, so not going to see Waffles kicking up just yet, missing 400 food for the Castle Age click up. They were dead and I needed to fix my eco. Alright, so just a distraction maneuver then from Flying Mouse. Castle Age well on the way for White Fang here, going to have quite a few... Where are the archers again? Yeah, going to have 9 archers here. Could be that White Fang wants to go straight for the Mangudai transition here as well. Are we going to see crossbow upgrade here at all? It's only 9 archers after all. Maybe not. Thumbing and defense, which is going to apply to Mangudai as well, of course. Supermons here with knights to complement, and with if White Fang's archers can focus down the spears, this should be a decent fight to take before Flying Mouse can get to the castle age and get to the crossbows. It's Spearman actually doing some decent work here, and this is a semi-choke point between the buildings for Flying Mouse. Still going to lose quite a bit of archers again before being able to get to the crossbows. Serious amounts of idle time for Flying Mouse here right now. 42 villagers, half of them idle. Great engagement from Supermon and White Fang on the north side here. On the left side we have a collected effort by Aristocats and Waffles here. We're seeing some Wallows on the move as well. No monster just yet, playing the eco game here. Triple TC boom for Aristocats. It's not arena after all, so why stress the relics? Collecting military, looking convincing for Ragnarok here though. 44 military for Waffles, and yeah, decent chunk of knights and scouts here. I think it's time to engage for Aristocats and Waffles here, just to deal damage while you can. Skirmishers shouldn't be an issue, you just send the Lithuanian knights in to deal with those, and should be quite okay overall. So a little bit passive playing here, probably wants to wait for crossbows before engaging though, makes sense as well, obviously. Pikeman is in for the Ethiopians, of course. That's a free upgrade, instant upgrade for Ethiopians to get to the Pikeman here. Ah, raiding party. Splinket OG with some knights to be cleaned up by Aristocats, +1 knights here. No relics just yet for anyone. All hail Lord Doubt. Where's the Doubt? Oh. Ouch. So this castle will eventually go up. It's a pretty ballsy one, but also it nice gold on the stone here, so I can see why White Fang wants to position it here. It's going to come at some cost though, losing some villagers in the process. White Fang actually with the lowest villager count of all now, and only 5 military. But it's only a matter of time before White Fang can start producing these Mangadai. Of course, it's not going up. What? Doubt confirmed. And here are the Cav Archers from the Mongols player. Makes sense, they're easier to mass than the Mangalai, and they're... yeah. Seem to have some decent damage output against the +2 knights, and but only 2 ranges. Still going to take some time to mass them. What's happening on this side? No engagement from Waffles and Aristocats on the left hand side yet. Maybe wants to stabilize a bit after the small raid from blue. And Aristocats definitely going to hunt down White Fang's Cav Archers here. And yep, castle is not going to be allowed up here, I believe. Walls in place to go up around the foundation. And now we have some movement on the left hand side here. So 7 knights and reasonable chunk of crossbows here. What happened to Splinket's skirmishers? Looks like they all vanished. Now they're here. Once knights are in, these skirmishers should be dead meat, and Waffles and Aristocats are free to engage. No relics collected. So that's going to limit Aristocats' Knights power spike. Still has +2 and +1 here though. Generic Knights, but some decent masses. 33 military overall. Has presence on both sides here. And of course the Doubt Castle gets deleted just to at least get a little bit of stone back. Looks like Ragnarok has some good momentum again now. They're going to push Splinkin OG pretty hard here now. Superman is missing the +1 as compared to Lithuanians here, so will be desperately needing to outmass the Lithuanians pocket here. But then again, there are 52 or 50 crossbows here to make life awkward even for knights here. So Splinkin OG only 1 military here, Superman with 24. But will be losing knights even with the +2 armor here to this ridiculous mass of Vietnamese crossbows. Right hand side, a little bit of a push from Flying Mouse here. Also, again, accompanied by some knights from Aristocrats. So Aristocrats is on both sides here, dropping more stables now. There's the monastery, so we're going to see some relics collected as well. Splinkin has one, but that might be up for grabs again soon, as Splinkin OG's base is under heavy pressure here now. Trying for some very ambitious walling here with this group of crossbows. Moving on. Oh, the split! Good job there. More skirms being added. That just doesn't necessarily work in team games, because when there are knights on the field, the knights can just easily focus down the skirms due to the skirms having a minimum range. Right hand side, there's is pushing as well. Flying Mouse with the faster firing Ethiopian's crossbows has an easier time to deal with Frank's knights in small numbers here. And with a coordinated effort, the crossbows and knights should be able to take out the Archer numbers of White Fang as well. Only 11 military. It's a massive military lead for Ragnarok here. Superman has a great boom going though. It's 105 villagers, 105. You can resign again. And defensive castles going up, perk of being Franks, you get cheaper castles, easier to secure territory, placing castles in the strategic positions. And castle, you could also research chivalry for quicker production of the knights from the, or quicker stables production. And I see more stables going up here as well, so Superman should be in a good spot to contest Aristocats' numbers production with the slightly stronger boom and the unique technology to complement it. Aristocats with some serious production here though, and now going up to the Imperial Age as well as Flying Mouse, so we're going to have 2 players on Ragnarok in the Imperial Age before Parabellum have even begun the click. Stone walls now for the Magyars player and some Magyar Hussars in the mix. I'm guessing that's for siege, anti-siege or raiding purposes, but looks like Waffles wants to drop a castle here, forward. Yeah, I don't see any denying that one. That's going to take lots of effort to do so. And again, the military numbers are just so much more convincing for Ragnarok here. Forward castle goes up as well. Push is still going on the right hand side as well, with roughly 10 knights and a decent chunk of crossbows here. Cavalry numbers increasing though for White Fang, and could probably try and pick out some knights numbers here. Yeah. Ouch. Deleted that manual by accident. It seems like Waffles is able to large extent to hold his own on this side. Will need a few knights to deal with enemy skirps here. I mean, not in these small masses, but if Splinkology manages to mass large amounts of skirps. But here are some knights from Aristocrats to aid in that situation. +3 attack now should mean that one relic has been collected. And Imperial Age is in Cavalier and Plate Parting Armor on the way for Aristocrats. So again, Aristocrats is going to get to Cavalier before Zubawan here, although Zubawan is right around the corner of Imperial Age as well, and now taking a more than decent engagement here against Flying Mouse's Arbalists here, at the cost of cavalry archer losses for White Fang though. But at least an army cleanup, and Flying Mouse now again down to 7 military here, opening for some raiding potential for Superman on the enemy side. Cavalier on the way for Superman as well as the last armor upgrade. So Imperial Age is in for waffles as well. It's going to have a significant chunk of Ethiopian's Arbalest now, going for both Arbalister and Bracer, with a mass of almost 60 to be upgraded here. Some Cavalier on the field to help out as well. And what's going on the right hand side, Superman is chasing together with White Fang's army here, going to go for some raids on the Flying Mouse maybe. Cavalier should hopefully be right around the corner for Superman as well. There it is. White Fang seems to be struggling eco-wise though, playing only 57 villagers and not able to contribute enough to the military situation. Has been under heavy pressure here all along since the Outcastle a while ago up on the hill here. Left hand side, an almost unstoppable ball of Vietnamese Arbalest, Trebs and Cap Trams now. This is not looking pretty for Splinket OG here, who is with 19 military and cannot possibly hold this on his own. Superman sends villagers left and right to drop castles and take some map control here. Will they see that Aristocrats is dropping a castle right around the corner though? Yeah, my main worry is on the left hand side here for Splinket OG. Still 77 villagers, but White Fang with 60 population as well. They don't need to focus that hard on the Mongols player anymore. I actually don't even see any castle from White Fang. Here means that we won't be seeing Magnuda anytime soon, which is the most powerful unit that Mongols can bring to the table. And now with full focus on the left side flank here, Ragnarok is looking at a good position to force the GG of the opponents here. Cavaliers now with 12+6 means that Aristocrats has collected another relic. Still potential for 2 more for a +8 attack on the Cavaliers and maybe eventually to be Paladins. We have trade in the making for Ragnarok as well, something that Parabellum does not. Love the Magyar Hussars though, that they are simply going to melt the Cap Trams here, so that's a good addition. They could tank some archery fire as well, but this slow but deadly push is still well on the way to take Splinket OG out of the game, and it's not looking bright here for Parabellum. So as suspected, the GD is called. Well fought battle from both sides, but it's going to be Ragnarok's game in the end. There we go. there's the last player resigning, and it's going to be a 2-0 for Ragnarok for this one. Just a quick look at the stats, and then I'm off for today. It's New Year's Eve after all.